Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. Yes, before understanding today's concepts, yes, let's try to recollect it, what we had it yesterday, and then we continue with today's objective. Is what we were understanding yesterday. Can you go ahead and quickly to discuss on it? Yeah, we are understanding the process management, right? Yeah, how do we view that list of all the processes in the auxiliary format, especially the new concept which we are understanding, auxiliary format, which gives us information about the memory. I mean, the memory is at system level and as well as process level, CPU information at system level and as well as each process level. And we can get it a total number of the tasks which are running that and how many the tasks are running or how many tasks are in idle state. And do you have any tasks which are in that zombie status? Yeah, so all that's information and as well as we can have it that information about the swap memory also. But swap memory always it should be zero. That is recommended. So if it is going to use the swap, some amount of memory is nothing but the means. So we have this the memory is full. So in those conditions, yes, whenever the memory is insufficient to process, I mean to manage the processes, then it is going to use the swap memory. Swap is kind of the disk memory. The performance wise, that is a very less compared with that the normal memory. So those points that we are trying to understand how to view that all those details using auxiliary format, and as well as we can use it like top command, yeah, htop commands. So those are also which are observing, but htop by default it is not available, and we need to install that software. Yeah, that's we were installing by using m install htop. Yeah, so that's we were doing. And after that, then we had that some other concepts. How do we the process in the tree structure notation? There is a PS tree. There is one more command. And another option which you are understanding, foreground and background process. How do you start the process in the background? Process or any command you are executing is nothing but that should be in the background. How do we run that the process in the background?
First, we need to check the task manager, then find out the number, and after that, command BG.
Hmm. Directly, if you would like to start it, all these points required. Ampersand, right? How do we
Yes,
run that? The
yes,
job in the
ampersand.
background is ampersand. Yeah,
Ampersand.
first. But once the process by mistake, if you have started in the foreground process, how do we bring it to the background is? Yes, then we need to apply the control G, that is stop the process. Then
Yes,
use
yes.
the jobs command to give the list of all the jobs. Then use it BG and job number. Then that job is going to bring back to the, I mean, bringing into the background process. So that's about the BG foreground, how to bring it, that is FG, jobs command, and yeah, how do you start the commands in the background, that is with the ampersand option. Yeah, there are some additional concepts which are understanding. And finally, one more concept, how do you kill a process? In case the process is not responding, as we need to kill the process. So how do we kill a process? So that's we are trying to understand by using the kill with signal number. What is the signal number for the killing the process? Hyphen 9 and then process ID. Process ID, how do you get it? That is from by using the PS command. Yeah, so there are the commands that we are trying to understand it. On the process management, one of the important activity for the DevOps in here. Now, if we just observe that, is process management, we got it. And before that, the classes we are understanding how do we manage the files, that is setting the files or setting the content. So there is a find commands, the grep commands, and then some cut commands. And then before which we are working with the file operations, that is copying the files or moving the files or viewing the file content or creating a files or deleting a files, deleting the directories, creating a directories, and some ls options and permission concepts, how to change the file permission or directory permissions with numeric notation or symbolic notation. And we are understanding some more concepts about environment variables. Yeah, so there are the points, and as well as like some tar concepts, like how do you archive the file, compress the files, that is taking the backups and restoring the backups. Yeah, so there are the commands and concepts which you are understanding. Now let's move into the today package management activities. So how do we install the softwares and how do we manage the services? So this is one more interesting concept. As a DevOps engineer, they're all very, very important. Without knowing all these things, you should not become the DevOps engineer. Even if you become also, then you cannot do any, activities on the system level. Or if you like to automate it, infrastructure as a code. Yes, you don't understand this while implementing the code. Yeah, be practice as much as you can do and follow that the forums. I'm not going to share it every day. Yeah, so that is about your responsibility, asking about the forum. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, like this, one by one, go ahead and try to refer the lab guides and videos if it is required one more time, reviewing that. Yeah, you need to go ahead and refer those forums the day wise. Okay, fine. Let's talk about it. The managing, installing or managing the software. So what about this concept? So this concept already we know it. It's not a new concept. Suppose if you are using this mobile, let me just draw that one. Suppose if you are using this mobile, the mobile already we have. Not working. Let me go ahead to the paint. In the mobile, we have this the Play Store or App Store, right? On the basis of type of the devices which we have. What we are doing this with the Play Store and App Store? There are all the
Installing apps.
softwares which are helping for apps management, right? In our mobiles, like iOS or Android based, we have the Play Store or App Stores. But what is the usage of that? Whenever we buy the mobile, we will get it with the default apps, some Facebook or Google Chrome. So there are some basic apps we will get it. So initially, we'll get that basic apps. But I would like to play with games, or if I need that some like my custom applications, yeah, the banking related. Or then what do we do? That is, what are the operations we do that? First, we go for searching app in the Play Store. That app management, what are the software they have given, that is a Play Store or App Store. On the base of that, the first we go for searching for that app. Suppose you need that the WhatsApp also by default it is coming that or some XYZ app. First, what we do that we search for that app. After searching, then we go for knowing that all the details of that. Then we'll check it the details of the app. before going to install it. That is reviews and how do we use it, that app. If you know already familiar, okay, we directly install it. But if it's a new app you are doing that, yes, we go for that. First, knowing the details of that application. Yeah, after knowing that application, estimate some members they didn't receive the notifications. Yeah, so yeah, I mean already if it are registered, then I will get it as notification automatically whenever we start the meeting. But please share that in the WhatsApp group once again about your Zoom IDs who are not getting the notification. I will check it once again. Okay. Yeah, so as we're talking about it, apps management softwares in our mobile, like Android based or iOS based, the whenever we are working with that. Yes, the what is the main usage of the apps management softwares? Yes. So by default, some apps are available. Yes, whenever we buy the mobile, we'll get it some default apps. But if you need that any additional apps, you can search the app. You can view the details information of the app, and then if you're okay with that, then install the app, right? Or if I don't need that, suppose today I have used it or maybe tomorrow that is not required for me, then what we can do? We can uninstall the app. Or sometimes what's going to happen this is we will get that keep on updates. Suppose if I have installed some like the WhatsApp, the app, then whenever the WhatsApp team they have come up with this latest versions, then we'll get the notification. So update this software. As a security patches point of view, securities, yeah, like I mean the latest the features point of view is they keep on releasing their updates. That means we need to update the app. Are you getting my points?
Yes, sir.
So if you are yeah, so in our mobiles we are already working with that apps management. So there's like a default some apps are available, but if you need that custom app, yes, search for that app and get that details of that app if it is required. Then you will be having that operations either installing that app or uninstalling that app or updating the apps. But what are the apps we are downloading that from the Android or iOS? Somewhere all these apps that have been stored, right? So if it is Android, the Android based software, if you have installed in your mobile, then this Android team, they are managing the repository. All these apps are available in this the repository, and whenever we are using the Play Store through the internet, we are connecting to this repository, the where all the apps are managing by the Android team. Then we can see this which are all the apps are installed in my system, or you can search that apps here. You are searching that apps in your mobile is nothing but just think about this about your mobile. So in your mobile you are searching that apps is nothing but all the apps somewhere they are managing that by the Android team. Or if you talk about that iOS team is also they are managing about it. That is Apple. So my mobile is iOS based. Then whenever I'm using that apps management, so it is going to connect it to the Apple's repository where that all the apps are managing by that Apple team, and we can install it or we can uninstall it or we can update it. Are you clear about that? The points, understanding that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So there are the different management activities that we're expecting on the apps. But if we just replace that app with the package in our voice level, what do we say? Package management. So far mobiles we are trying to understand it. Yes, if it is Android based or Apple based. Yes, like we have this Play Store or App Store where it is connecting to that the remote repositories where the apps are managing by these teams, and we can search that app. And if you are okay with that, you can view the details and you can install it or you can uninstall it or you can update the softwares. The same concept, if we try to apply to about our Linux operating system, is to the OS. Instead of saying this Android, what is the another type of the dish? Another, I mean, what is a type of distribution which is available? RHEL based. Or another one is, what is that another one? Before we are understanding so far on the mobile based, but we are just applying the same concept to operating system, Linux operating system. But what are the types of the distributions are available? RHEL and Debian based. Yes, RHEL team, they are managing that. Instead of saying this apps, what we can say? We don't use the apps is a keyword here. What is the keyword we use it?
Packages.
Package. Yes, that's we say that package repository. So here, if it is we are using that like a Ubuntu or a Debian based system, if you are installing the package, you are updating the package or you are deleting the package, it is going to communicate to the Debian repository. Debian based repositories it is connecting is nothing but it is going to use it internally URLs where all these the packages are managing by the Debian team. So we need to use that URL and we need to connect it, and then we can search that the apps. I mean, just replace that apps with the package. Yes, we can search the packages. We can get the details of the package. We can install the packages, or if we don't want that, we can uninstall the packages, or we can update the packages. So this one we say that instead of the apps management, we say that package management. So whenever we, whenever we started this operating system, either RHEL or Debian, by default we have some apps, some packages. But if we need that any additional packages, yes, we can search into the packages. We can view the details information of that package. And if you are okay with that, yes, you can install that package. Or if you don't want that, you can uninstall it or you can upgrade it or update it. So these activities perform in that we can say that package management activities. I got the picture of this. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Yeah, now if you understand that concept, but if it is RHEL, what is the command that we use it to manage the packages? Suppose Play Store we are talking that, or App Store we are talking that. Like that, we need to have one tool, right? In our operating system, we need to use it one tool. So what is the tool that we are going to use it to perform all these operations? That is setting the options or getting the details information of the apps, or installing the apps, or uninstalling, or updating that the apps or packages. What is the utility that is available? That is we are going to talk about the tool. So Play Store and App Store, how we are using that on the Linux operating system to manage the packages. Package managers are available. There are too many of the packages. Package managers are available. But these package managers on the base of the distributions, that is RPM based, that is Red Hat package manager, or Debian based package manager. Yeah, on the base of the distributions, we have the softwares. Why we have, I mean, both are the Linux operating systems. Why we have the difference? Suppose I have this Android based mobile and I have that Apple based or iOS based mobile. Both functionality, I mean, basic functionality, if we just talk it like, yeah, the both are the common. Objective is the same almost, but user interfaces and utilities. Yeah, on the base of the features from the providers, we have a little bit difference. But both objectives are the same, functionality is the same. But the functionality, the way of axing about it, our interaction, and the user friendliness point of view, the difference which we have. Yeah, if you try to understand the package, what is a package? That is a collection of files. Yes, you are installing any package in the backend, it is going to install the libraries and binaries. Libraries are supported files, binaries are executable files, and configuration files, and metadata information of the package. Yeah, that is about the package description, package version, package dependencies. Even that also, whenever we are observing in the App Store apps, there's information of that app and which version of this that is available and any other dependencies. Yeah, we get the same thing here also. So package is a collection of files and which contains its a metadata. But collection of files, if we just talk it, binaries, libraries, configuration files or log files. What are the important directories of the Linux operating system? That means where the binaries are located. Can you give me the quickly in the chart window? Where the binaries are located, in which folder?
Bin folder.
Yes, that is in the bin folder. Where the libraries are located?
LIB folder.
LIB. Yes, there is a lib folder. Lib folder. Bin folder contains binaries, executables. And the libraries are supported files. Normally, we don't touch the libraries directly. But if I use in the bin is nothing but bin is internally going to use the libraries. Where the configuration files are located? On the Linux operating system. Where the configuration files are located. etc. Yeah. /etc. That is a configuration directory. And where the logs are located?
Where log.
Yeah, that is where log. Yeah, these are all some important directories. We have some other files like a device files or media files or temporary directories. Okay, those are all on the basis of that the requirement which we use it. But if you are installing one package, is nothing but the package related configuration files will be added to that etc folder. The package related binary files will be added to the bin folder. The package related libraries will be added to the lib folder. The package related runtime files, if you have anything, that will be added to the var folder. Yeah, that is the directory structure on the Linux operating system. Okay, that's about the package. Package, what we are talking about, collection of files. That could be binaries, libraries, configuration files, or runtime files, that is log files. But how do I manage the packages? So that's we have package manager. You can use this package manager to install it or upgrading or removing or searching or listing. An advantage of this package manager is, suppose if I'm installing some XYZ package, but XYZ packages have the dependency on the ABC package. Dependencies. If I'm installing XYZ, but it is have the dependency on the ABC, then first it is going to install the ABC, then it is going to install the XYZ main package which you are trying to install it. Yes, it is going to take care of the dependencies. And it is going to keep track of that what is installed. Yes, we can check it about it using these package managers, which are all the, if you go to the apps manager in our mobile, we can see this list of all the installed packages, right? Installed apps. The same way, using the package manager, we can keep track of what is installed. Yeah, how do we install the softwares on RPM based distributions? That is Red Hat based distribution is. What is the package manager that we use it is? That is yum. Yum is the package manager. YUM. I'll come back that command. But these RPM based, whatever we are talking about, this package manager, you can use it on the Red Hat or CentOS or Fedora or Oracle Linux or Scientific Linux. They're all supporting that RPM based distribution. But what is the package manager that is available in the RPM based distributions? Yellow Dog Update Manager. We'll call it YAM, that is stands for Yellow Dog Update Manager. Yeah, you can search for the particular package, that is YAM search string. And whenever we go to the apps, first we search that app, right? But how do we search it to the package on the Red Hat based distributions? YAM search and particular package name. Then if you would like to know the details of that package, then yum info to get that metadata information or version information or dependencies information. So all this information if you need it, then yum info on the package name. And once you are okay with your package and if you'd like to install it, how do we install the package? Yum install and with the package name. So whenever I use the yum install package, it is asking the confirmation. You should say that yes or no. But instead of saying that during runtime, yes, you can pass this argument -y. That is yes, I am okay to install this package and all the dependencies. That's you are confirming it. Or you can update the package, or you can remove the package. Yum install package, yum remove the package, yum info. That's the details. Yum search. So these are all some main commands. Let me go ahead and let's try to use that, and then we'll come back to that next. Another one more utility or one more package manager is that tool is available on the Red Hat based system, that is a RPM also. But in which context we use this RPM and in which context we use the YAM? Let's go ahead and observe that. First, let's work with that YAM. Yeah, so this is about our Vagrant system. Suppose before we were installing the tree package, right? Tree. Do you remember that? And yesterday also we have installed one package. Yesterday I have installed the package.
Stop.
Yeah, that is htop. Yeah, so before going to install it, you can search this particular package. Suppose htop, is it available or not? But whenever we are using this utility, just observe that it is connecting to that internet. Internet is required. But on this internet, but it has to use it some URL, right? To find this or to search for this htop, repository is required, where all these packages, that's Red Hat team, they are managing that's all these packages. And there's some remote repository. Repository, what is the meaning of it? That is server, where all the packages that is stored. So whenever we are searching or whenever we are using that running of m command, especially installing the package, searching the packages and getting the information of that package, it is going to use that internet, connecting to that net. But while connecting time, it is going to use it internal some URLs required. Yes, it uses that URLs and connecting to the repository. In that repository, if this htop is it available or not, it is going to searching and it is going to list it to htop details. But the network is dropped. What I need to do is I need to restart the system. Just a minute quickly. Let me do that restarting the system. Yeah, that is power off. Let's go for Vagrant. So package manager, very simple concept. Like if you know that apps management, the same activities. On the Linux system, how do we install the packages or how do we uninstall the packages? So whenever we are doing this from the scratch, starting the system, suppose you are launching the new systems, then what is the first and foremost recommended is update the entire system with the latest patches or latest security patches or issues related. So whatever they have released, so that is the first and foremost recommended before going to use the system. So always keep on updating the patches is very, very important. So how do we update the patches? So this is also package manager. Yeah. update. So before going to use the system, first to make sure that get the latest the packages related to the versions or the security patches which have been released by that enterprise Linux team. So just make sure that you have installed. Yes, now you see this. It has been updated some packages. Yes, it has been upgraded. So append release 8. So that's like Linux version 8, and which is having that 19 is the minor version release number. So what I have done, I just run it m update, updating the system. But m update, can we run it with a normal user? No. I have logged in with Vagrant. Vagrant user is not having that system level update directly. So we need to use it sudo. Sudo is going to helping that to become the super user. Then what about that -y? Why I have given that -y? That is to confirm it. So normally if you don't enter this -y, it is going to ask the confirmation. So you need to enter that yes or no. But in the automation approach, we don't go for the manual interaction, right? We use it automatically approving that by passing that -y. Now, whenever we are updating that, you see that it is trying to connect it to that repositories. Yeah, AppStream is one repository, base OS, extras, and some extra packages for enterprise Linux point of view. And it is finding that dependencies have been dissolved, and package, yes, this is the append release package, and architecture, no architecture, and this is a version, and repository from that append repository. Yes, as we are talking that any package you are updating or you are installing or you are removing that you are searching is intermediate is going to connect to the repository. So what is the repository it is going to use it? Apple. That means somewhere this Apple repository related URL has been configured. But I'll come back. Where are those files are located? I'll come back to that. Now with this update, yes, this is the package which is trying to update it. And what is the size of that package? 25 kilobytes. Okay, that's fine. The very small size. Yeah, so now you can see this upgrading one package, total download size 24 kilobytes, and downloading the packages. Yes, it is downloading this package, but whenever it is downloading the package, which file it is downloading, if you just observe that is a .rpm file. These are all Red Hat based package manager extension. Suppose in our Android mobile, if you are trying to download any app, you will be having that APK file, right? APK is the file, actually the file that will be background downloaded and it will be installed. But if you are using the M package manager and if you are installing the package or updating the package, what it is doing is the background is automatically it is going to try to download this RPM file from this repository. And which is having the 25 kilobytes size. Yeah, this is the transaction summary. You can see this transaction summary if you are installing the package or updating the package. But now I am doing that, I am updating entire system. I am not updating that the particular package. So m update is a command for system related packages, updating that. And finally it is doing that, yes, like running the transaction, and it is downloading that all those dependencies, and finally you see that upgraded. This is the upgrade which is happened on this repository, on this package, and finally it has been completed. Yeah, from the scratch, whenever you are starting the system, first and foremost, what do we do? That is, we will update that system. That is with the latest versions or the latest patches. So that could be security related patches, because in the market, hackers keep on hacking the system. Hackers, they keep on trying is nothing but, yes, this side like RPM team, they are going to keep on finding the solutions on those securities, so security related issues. They keep on release that. So we need to keep on update the latest versions. If you don't update it, then there is a possibility of the system hackings. So recommended is always keep on updating with the latest patches. That is recommended. Even in our mobile also, sometimes we'll get the software update, right? We need to update that. Otherwise, yes, like old apps or any other apps which are having, maybe hackers, they can hack it. So that's like about our provider, they have released that update is nothing but, yes, they have done some issues fix, or maybe they have done some security related constraints adding or rules adding. So all this we will get it. So keep on update the software. Yeah, so how do we update about our software? M update. M update. But if I run it M update, so it is required the root user privileges. Then run with the sudo. But what it is saying does nothing to do. Complete. What is the meaning of that? That means my system is updated everything. I don't have any packages to update it everything as we have in the repository. The same thing that is contains in my system also for this current version. But whenever we are updating the system or installing the package or whenever you are searching set commands, all that I will talk it later. Now you see this, it is trying to use it connecting to these remote repositories. It's connecting to this repository. And do you have any latest packages which you have are updated? It is checking on base OS and extras and enterprise Linux, EPL. But where all these, I mean, if you define this repository is nothing but repository to connect it, URL required, right? You are connecting to the repository is nothing but URL is required. You are connecting to the system is, I mean, this to repository is nothing but URL is required and permission is also required. So what is that's required is whenever you are updating the system or searching that application, any app related activity you are doing is nothing but it is connecting to the repository. That is URL required. What do we call that URL is? In package management terminology, mirrors list. Mirrors. Mirrors will call it. That means mirror is nothing but one of the URL. And key is also required. Key, that is authentication token key. So as you are connecting to that URL and you are trying to download the package or searching the package is nothing but it is required some authentication token for it. What do we call this one is GPG key. So from about our system, we are updating the packages or we are installing the package or we are performing any activity on the package manager is nothing but, so it is going to connect to the remote repository, but remote repository to connect it, that repository related mirrors required, URLs required, and as well as keys required. But where do we have this information? Yes, whenever we are doing the update, automatically it is connecting to that remote repository and it is performing is nothing but, yes, somewhere all this repository information is defined. Where it is defined is that is in the etc. As we're talking about it, all the configuration files, even that this package manager related configuration files, where those are located, etc m dot repos.d. This is the directory which contains all that mirrors list information. That means package repository related information. You see that it was using the some FL repository, right? FL repository, CentOS, base OS, AppStream, extras, yes, extras, or AppStream, or base OS. So the backend is whenever we install the operating system is configured with the default repositories. And all these files, what is the extension? .repo. It contains the repository information. But suppose if I open this one of the file in this directory, .repo, these are all the repo files. These are all the files, not directories. In this directory, you can find that all the repositories. And if you open that any one of the file, these are all available in the etc m.repos.d. And if you give the file name, CentOS Linux base OS. Now you see this, what is the repository name it is defined is base OS, and this is the name CentOS Linux releases server base OS. Now it is showing that whenever we are updating that CentOS Linux 8 base OS, this is the server version it is getting that. And here you see that URL is defined. This is the URL of that all the base packages are available, which belong to the CentOS Linux. They're all like a Red Hat based. And here itself you see that GPG check required or not. Yes, that is required and it is enabled. And what is the key? Key path is also defined here. Key path is also defined. That means whenever we are using such options or installing the options, it is going to use it base OS. Yes, this is the URL and it connects to that URL. And after connecting that, if it is successfully connected, it is asking that confirmation, but that confirmation point of with GPG key. Yes, this is the key which is going to use it to authenticate to the repository. But if you don't want this repository to connect it whenever you are searching, then go ahead and disable this. Enable equal to by default 1. That means whenever we are updating or whenever we are installing the package, it is going to connect it to this URL. But you don't want this repository, then disable this. Enable equal to, if you say 0, then that will be disabled. So background, what is happening that whenever we are installing the packages or searching the packages, it is using these repositories and it is connecting to these mirrors and with this GPG key. Is it clear about this point? But just know that this file's location, they're all default already defined. You see the separate repository, extras repository, base OS repository, AppStream repository. Like suppose if you are going to install the Docker, but a Docker by default in these repositories that is not available. You need to add the repository. That means the Docker where it is located, that repository URL and the GPG key, you need to configure it. But how to configure it, that will come back later. On the basis of that, the Docker or Jenkins softwares, the URL is different and GPG keys are the different. We need to define. That will come back later. But understand it, yes, whenever we are updating the system or updating the packages or installing the packages, it is going to refer to the backend repositories. But where all these backend repositories are defined is the etc m.repos.d, and what is the file extension that we have is repo, we have that. But we don't need to do any externally. This is the concept, just understanding that.
Can you
So
just
even
paste the URL of this
yeah. Sorry,
URL
please.
because can you just paste the URL of the app stream because I'm getting error, app stream error.
AppStream error.
Yeah, so can you just give me the URL? Even I try to reach the URL manually on Windows.
Okay. Yeah, check this in the mom repos.d and Yeah, this is the repository file for it, upstream point of view. Yeah, this is the base URL, and make
Can you
sure
just
it.
paste this? Yeah, in chat group, base URL. I will
Yeah,
update
sure.
my.
I'll share this URL and GPG key, and make sure this is enabled.
Yeah, okay. I had an error right yesterday. I was trying some articles to do it, but it looks like this URL link is having an issue.
Okay. That is maybe on the basis of the version which you are using that. These are all the issues. So base search, so these are all during runtime, these are all the variables which is replacing that. So content directory, release server version. So 8 is the version here, and upstream, and base search. Base search, what is the variable? Let me. Is it having any value? So no. During runtime, these are all the variables that is replacing. But just check it. So whenever you have that the verifying that, first go to this location, then what is the directories it is displaying, then refer this content directories, then version, then upstream, and within this directory. Okay. Suppose let me try it. How you can use it is Control C. The copy is exited that. If I go to the browser, what you can do is you can try to search for the CentOS.org. Yeah, CentOS want mirror. And here which directory? So this is a content directory.
Okay, based on the version.
Yeah, this is on the basis of the version. So the directory. And if you go to the particular directory, then within this, yes, you see that upstream directory or base OS. And if you go to the upstream, this is actually URL construction. This is the URL of it. And here, what is the architecture? x86-64 architecture. Yes, within this x86-64, now that OS related, packages is available. Within the packages, RPM files will say that. Yes, these are all the RPM files. So here, these are all the packages which are available in this mirror list. So this is the final mirror list for it. I'll share it to this URL also. Just try to use this URL also. But check it about your version one time. 8.5.2 it has been given here. But on the basis of about your OS, you need to check it which OS you are using. So how do you get that OS version? At etc OS release. At etc OS-release. So this is going to give that the OS version. So 8 it is showing that is a major version which I am having, that 8 Enterprise Linux 8 version. Or let me use it asterisk also.
0.3.
Yeah, 8.5.2111. So use it etc asterisk release. This is the command. You will get it. The CentOS Linux release 8.5.21111. I have so the same URL I have shared it. You see that in the chart window. So check it about your OS and try to find that the package and add that URL in that .repo file, and you can verify it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's the background story. Whenever we are using these utilities, that is YAML or RPM. So how it is going to searching that the packages or where these packages are located is, yes, that is going to, in the repo files, it is going to read that those URLs and with the GPG key and with enabled or not. If it is enabled, yes, it connects to that's mirror list and it searches that particular package which we are searching, which we are looking at, and is it having any latest update or not. If it is having the latest update, then it will be updated. Yeah, that is a background story. So whenever we are using these utilities. Yeah, sometimes we don't see that some packages. Suppose if I try to go for installing install Jenkins. It is searching this in all these repositories, that's Jenkins. But it is saying this unable to find a match in Jenkins. That means Jenkins is not available. Red Hat team is not giving the Jenkins. Jenkins is providing with a different provider. Now what we need to do that, you need to refer to the Jenkins provider and that provider, how do we install this on the CentOS? You need to check it, the download option, and that repository you need to add it. One that repository URL and GPG key, once it has been added, then it is going to look at the upstream, base OS, extras, and in this, but it is not found. Then another repo file which belongs to the Jenkins, we need to add it. That repo also it is going to check in. And if that is available, the Jenkins, and Jenkins which will be installed automatically. That is, I will talk it. Docker installation time, Jenkins installation time, I will talk it. The referring that's okay. Let me just show this quickly. That's option also. Suppose I would like to install the Jenkins. How do I do that? Jenkins download. If I search it in the Google, and if I go to the Jenkins the portal, so we have the stable release, and here which operating system we are looking at? Red Hat or CentOS based. And here you see that they have given to use this repository, run the following command. First, what you need to do? You need to download. It is going to create the jenkins.repo file in the etcm repos.d jenkins.repo, and this is the mirror list. So this is a URL of the Jenkins packages are available here. So that's we are adding to that jenkins.repo file. And another one, what we are talking about it, GPG key is required. Yes, you can do that. RPM -import. And this is the key that is required. You need to add it. First, just go ahead and blindly run it. The simple. So just go ahead to the system and run these two commands. Now, if you see this, it is created in the M repos one more file, that is jenkins.repo. So here m.repos.d, and if you open the jenkins.repo, and it is added about the base URL. But GPG key is not added. But GPG key is also required. But how do I add the GPG key? Then let's go ahead back to the Jenkins, and they have given one more command. First, if you would like to access my repository, and this is the key, use it. That is the meaning that they have specified this key also. Then let's take it and use it and import that key. Yeah, now if you re-verify this, that's jenkins.repo, yeah, GPG key is enabled and it is imported the file as a key. And now if I go back to that, sudo install Jenkins with the confirmation -y. I don't enter that one time, -y, then we can understand. Now it is searching this these upstream and base OS extras, these repositories, but we don't have that Jenkins. But we have added the Jenkins repo file also. Let's wait it. Is it going to checking it or not? Yeah, it is trying to update the packages. So here you can see this estimated time. So this estimated time to refresh, that's all the packages from this repository. Now these are all on the basis of the network bandwidth that is going to have the impact. Yeah, now you see this Jenkins repository also we have configured. Now it is verifying this in the Jenkins, the stable repository. Yes, that is a package which are trying to install it. And this is the version of the Jenkins which is available in the latest one in that repository. And it is going to try to install it, one package. And if you say that yes, the Jenkins which will be ready. And what is the size of this package is 94 MB. Yes, if I say that Y, then it is going to install the Jenkins. Is it clear about that? How do we install the packages? With the backend repository management concepts. Yes, my Jenkins has been installed. That has been completed. Okay, so that's about the backend understanding the mirror list, the URLs of it. But URLs just know that concept, but yes, understanding about the concept, m update, one command. Now m install. How do we install the package? M install. So if you like to install the package, yes. But how do we set a package? Suppose Docker, is it available or not? I need to check it. That package. How do we search for the Docker? M search. Or whenever you have the doubt with that, just use it -help. You will get that all the possible options. So here you can see that with the M, yeah, list of all the commands with the M. You can install the package. You can view the list of all the packages, or you can view the information of the package, or you can see that the history, that means display or use the transaction history, M history, or you can remove the package or reinstall the package, or you can view that the repo list. Yes. So what are the repositories that have been configured? If you would like to know that, M repo list. Yes, there are the repositories which have been configured in our system, enabled. But we have other repo files also, but those are not enabled. Yeah, there are the names, repository IDs, and there are the repository names. So M repo list. Or you can view that the list of M list. Yes, there are all the packages which are available there. So and so package. Now you can use the grep option. Suppose I'm going to check it about the Jenkins, the grep Jenkins. We know it, right? Grep option. So from that command output M list, I'm going to view that Jenkins package. Is it available? Yes, the Jenkins is available. Yes, this is the Jenkins, and this is the version of the Jenkins. And from which repository it is available? Jenkins repository. And we have with another one, Python 3-Jenkins, but this is not actual Jenkins package. This is a Python related, some supported module for the Jenkins. And this is available from the apt-get repository. So M list, which is going to helping that to view the list of all the packages in the repositories. But I would like to see that installed packages. installed. That means in my system, what are the packages that have been installed? Then mlist installed. So they're all the installed packages. But how many packages that have been installed on my system? How do I know that? I can use this command output with the word count, right? 470 packages that have been installed so far. Suppose if I'm going to use that something, yeah, the sudo we are using this, right? Sudo, how it is got it? Yes, sudo is one of the package that has been installed. If this package, if you remove it, then sudo doesn't work it. Under tar command, we are using that. If you if you remove this package, then tar command doesn't work it on the system. So whenever we install the OS, already installed all these packages. Python is also available in this. And we have just done that Jenkins, right? Are you following the points? The interesting concept. In our mobile, how we are going to use it, the same thing on the operating system, we are going to searching that. What are the packages that have been installed? In the apps, if I go to the list of all the apps, I can see that. That is mlist. And how do I see this only installed packages? Mlist installed. Yeah, now you see the Jenkins which has been installed from this Jenkins repository. So total how many packages that have been installed in my system? 470. But overall, how many packages are available in the remote repositories? From RHEL repository, the overall all the repositories, 16,772 packages are available. Out of that, we have installed 470. But we don't need all the things. Suppose in the Play Store, we see the so many apps. All the apps, we don't install it, right? Yeah, so this is about the list command. You can view that all the available packages and install packages. Install packages, mlist install, and we are viewing that a list of all the packages, mlist. So far, what are the commands we are understanding? Yeah, how to update the system? That is one thing. That is where we are doing update. Maybe that's gone. So yeah, maybe Control C we have applied. That is not saving that the history. So update we were doing, and then we are trying to install the Jenkins package, and we are observing that the repository is adding and GPG key adding, and then finally after adding the repository, installing the Jenkins, and you can get the help of all the available options. And one of that, yes, you can see the repository list, or you can see this list of all the packages, or you can see this list of all the installed packages. Suppose Jenkins has been installed, but I don't want this Jenkins. How do I remove this Jenkins? So remove is the command which is available. Remove is the option, and then you can specify the package name. Remove and package name, that is Jenkins. This is uninstalling the package. Yeah, now it is asking the confirmation, and if you say that yes, that will be uninstalled. Yeah, now if you go for listing that's all the installed packages, is it available the Jenkins now? grep for Jenkins. Now Jenkins is not installed. Jenkins has been removed. So how do we remove that? Remove Jenkins. So this is removing the package or installing the package. or you can search the package. Suppose now Jenkins, is it available or not? How I can check it? Search Jenkins. So all the packages which are having the Jenkins, it is listed that. Yes, this is the Jenkins automation server. But Python 3 Jenkins, this is another package which is available, but this is the Python bindings for the remote Jenkins API. This is small module of the Python. But actual Jenkins software is this one. Okay, after searching that, so now I search the Jenkins, but I need the information of it. Before installing, I need to check the information of the Jenkins. How do I check that information of this? Sudo info is the command. Info, and if you give the package name, then it is going to give all the details of the Jenkins. As you see that description of this package, the license version. This is a general purpose license, GPL. GPL, if you have, you can use it, this package, no issues on that. And the name of the package, version of the package. So release and architecture, no architecture. That means you can use it, this software, either on the 32-bit architecture or 64-bit architecture. No specification on it. But if you see that's x86-64, then you can use it, that package only on the 64-bit architecture system. And size of this package, source is, this is the RPM file background which is downloading, and it is going to use this RPM file to install the Jenkins. And from which repository it is trying to download this RPM? Yes, the Jenkins repository, and summary of it, URL of this, license, description. Yes, all the details of that package you can get. It is kind of in our Play Store. Yeah, whenever we open that particular app, we'll get all the description and the details information, right? Yeah, that is about info. Search, info, repo list, list installed, to give that list of all the packages. Now Jenkins, is it installed or not installed?
It's not installed.
Yeah, so first we install, but we have removed it. It is not installed now. Now I would like to install it. How do I install it? Or first of all, how do I check it? Whether that is installed or not? List installed packages, and we have this almost 400, but I don't want to go for this one by one checking. I am going to search the string which is matched with the Jenkins. It is not installed. Now how do I install it? Sudo install Jenkins. But if I directly go ahead and it is asking the confirmation, yes or no. But I'm good with this package. I'm going to confirm through by passing that -y. So if I use that -y, yes, I'm good. So it is, I don't need to interact with this. Automatically that will be installed. Yeah, whenever we are using the scripts, that is especially shell scripts, how do we install the packages automatically is -y is very, very important argument in the automation approaches. If you remove the manual interaction, that is automation approach, right? So installing the package or updating the package or removing the package. And then we are understanding how do we list it all the packages, or how do we list it installed packages, or how do we search a particular package, or how do we find that the repositories information where the repository files are located. So it is 94 MB to download it. It is taking the time. Okay, that is a network bandwidth issue. Now the next requirement, if you just okay it, suppose I have installed the Jenkins package. But what we are saying about the package, Package is a list of all the files. But what are the files that have been installed which belong to this package, that is Jenkins package? I would like to see that list of all the files of this package. That could be binary file, that could be configuration file, that could be runtime files, that could be libraries. But what are the files that have been installed with this package? I need to view that list of all the files which belong to this package or particular package. If it is Jenkins we use it, or if it is something tree package, yesterday or somewhere we are doing that installing of the tree package. I need to see the list of all the files on the system which belong to the tree package. How do I see that? That is next option which will come back. So instead of using this now M package manager, we use it RPM. Yeah, meanwhile, let me explain. It is taking the time anyway. Why it is taking, I'm not sure. So let me. So far we are running msearch, minfo, minstall, mdmove, or mlist, or mrepo list. So these commands we are trying to understand it, but another utility is also available on the Red Hat based systems. That is RPM utility. RPM. Yeah, some of the important commands with RPM. What we have to see is, how do you the list of all the installed packages? Can you give me that command?
M list installed.
Yes, m space list space installed. But with RPM utility also we can get it. List of all the installed packages. That is RPM space hyphen Q for the query. I'm querying that to this with this RPM all the packages. That is the meaning of that. RPM is expecting two arguments. What are those two arguments? Q, that is a query, A, all the packages. It is going to list all the installed packages. Next, another scenario we are understanding that what are the files that have been installed of that package. So next option what we have this is RPM hyphen QEL, L for the listing the packages. I mean the list of all the files of that package. And if I say the Jenkins here, whenever I install the Jenkins, what are the files that have been installed? It is going to list all the package related files. QEL. QA, all packages, installed packages. QEL, and with the package name, if you pass it, this package related, all the files it is going to list in that. But another use case, whenever you are working with this package management is, suppose in the system, I have seen one file in so-and-so user bin, or somewhere in the directory, I have seen one file. But that file is belong to that which package related. So now you know the file, but that file is installed in this operating system through which package? I need to find it that. That means reverse way. You have the file, that file is belong to the which package? Yes, that is a QF. F is find, A for all, another one is L. L is for list. Hyphen QA, hyphen QF. But F, what is the argument it is expecting? Which file do you have? That path of the file you need to define. Then it is going to list that file is belong to the which package related. QA, QF, QL. That is listing that the package related all the files. This is one more beauty of that. That is RPM utility. M is mostly which we use it installing or updating or removing the packages or searching a packages, or you can view that list of all the installed packages or all the packages. But especially files belong to the package or package related the files, or even if you have this RPM file. Suppose as we are talking about an RPM file backend, it will be downloaded and it is going to install it. But you have that RPM file. But if I am having that RPM file, how do I install it? Yes, you can use it RPM -I for the install and V for verbose. The H is something which is available, IVH, and the RPM file, if you give it, then it is going to install the package. M install and package name background, that is going to download the RPM file and it is going to install directly. But about your development team, they have given the RPM file. If you have this RPM file, how do we install it? Yes, you can use it RPM I for the installation, verbose, and H for size. I mean, I'm not sure that actually H for sizes it is going to give that. You can check it in the RPM options. Yes, IVH, which we use it package.rpm file. It is going to install the package. So some important arguments with RPM: -QA, -QF, -QL, -IVH. Let me show this with practically. Is it installed? Still not yet. Then something wrong maybe with my disk. Well, let me check it. So do I have the sufficient disk in this PC? 1.82 GB. Okay, so that's almost the full. So that's why it's become this very slow. -26 minutes now. So let me stop this one.
No,
Background.
yeah, to break it, I was just looking for some command. Control Z will break it from the session, from the command.
Okay, Control Z.
Instead of Control C, Control Z can use.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is the current program. It is automatically.
Okay, good.
Control Z.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, this is latest Git Bash version wise. We have that issue, but before Git Bash versions, where I mean, it was not terminating. Yesterday, I was observing that we need to add it some more the arguments in the alias command. Something they are giving that some option, but that is not required that much level. So if they are updated, maybe in the next patch release, maybe they will fix this issue and they will give it that. This is identified as an issue in the GitHub. If you refer this in the Google, yeah, it has been logged as an issue, and maybe in the next release from the Git team, we will get the patch on this. Yeah, anyway, good for that. That's analyzation. Yeah, latest version of this Vagrant is released. The installed version in my system 2.3.4, but 2.3.5 that is available. This is kind of update from them. So this Vagrant team the Hashcop team on this Vagrant software, they have released the new version. The same thing in our system. Yes, the packages updating or installing or removing. Okay, so let me verify that this still list installed. The Jenkins. What is the status? Okay, it is not done. Let me try it one more time. So quickly to install this package. Maybe before, maybe the network issue or something. Let me go ahead and apply this once again. Oh, this time also it is taking the time. But it's somewhat better. Let's see. No, I don't want to waste the time. So let me stop this process. I'm going to use the Control G as suggested. Okay, good. So that has been stopped. Anyway, we have done this tree package, other package we have installed, right? Let me try to use it, that package. So which package we are doing yesterday? htop also we have installed. Let me take it one of the installed package. mlist installed. I would like to show Jenkins, but it is taking the time. But instead of wasting the time, let me go for other package. Any package, the same commands, doesn't matter that. So tree package I have installed or not? Yes, we have installed. Now, what are the points we are talking that says, now this tree package related, what are the files that have been installed in this system? The files which are belong to package, what we are talking that, list of all the files. But what are the list of all the files which belong to the tree? How do we know that? Yes, use it rpm -q L for the list. But which package? That is a tree package. Yes, these are all some files which have been added to the system whenever we were installing the tree package. Yes, you see that's one of the file that is a tree in the bin folder. Suppose I'm running the tree command is nothing but this is from this directory. The tree command we are running is nothing but, yes. Which tree is this? Yeah, that is belong to that user bin tree. User bin tree is belong to that which package? That is a tree package. Yeah, list of all the files of that package. If you would like to see that rpm-q query list package files, that is the meaning of this. But suppose reverse way will come back. Yes, now I have this file. This file is belong to that which package? I need to come up in the reverse way. What is this reverse way we are talking that? Now I have the file, but this file is belong to that which package related? Q, F is for the find, and which file does you want to find it? That is user bin tree. Yes, this is belong to the which package? Tree package. Are you getting the points of this? The interesting, very, very important. Sometimes, yes, we need to come up, yes, in this way. Don't look at that only installing the packages or removing the packages. But already install the packages, you need to search it. Or you have some file, but this file, manager is asking this, what about this file and why we got it, in this system about this file. We need to find it. That file is belong to the which package. The package, whether that is required or not, that is a later story. Removing or keeping that is later story. But optimization of this app, suppose in your mobile, if you keep on installing that apps, what's going to happen? That system become very slow, right? More apps if you install it, system become, the system is going to have the performance issue. On the basis of the background apps which are running and the network bandwidth consumption, disk consumption, RAM consumption, processor consumption. To clear these points, understanding that. Yeah, suppose now I'm running the pwd command, but this pwd command is belong to the which package? How do I know that? Just run it which pwd. Okay, so this is a binary file which we have. And if I go for that rpm-q f, and if I give this location, then this is installed through the core utils package. Core utils package. So pwd command is also installed through the package. There are the default some packages which have been installed. What is the default package? That is core utils. For getting these points, m commands and rpm commands. RPM, these are all 4 or 5 more error. But m, yes, those are all info, search, list, repo list, or install, or update, or remove. So there are some options on the M. But M or RPM working is nothing backend. Mirrors list is defined. Where it is where repositories have been configured on the Linux operating system, especially on the CentOS. etc m.repos.d. And what is the file extension? .repo files contains the repository information. So this is about package management activities which we should know, which belong to the RHEL. Are you clear about these points? Any queries, questions, please let me know. So now we are learning all these commands is nothing but tomorrow you need to write a script for these commands. So that is the next level of that. So today whatever we are understanding, today are like the last 10 days, whatever we are trying to understand, yes, the commands required to know to work it on the system. But as a DevOps engineer, we need to become that automation engineer. Infra provisioning, platform provisioning, deployment provisioning. So during, doing those activities time, all these commands which we should be able to write as a code also. That will come back. How do you do that? Writing the code, installing the packages or managing the packages with the code. We are going to use a Terraform, or we are going to use it Ansible, or we are going to use it shell scripts. Not Terraform, yes, shell scripts and Ansible. But if you are good today, then whenever we start the DevOps tools, then we can easily understand. Okay, but let me quickly go ahead with that Ubuntu based distributions, how to manage the packages. Let me give me the commands, but I don't have the demonstration, but let me give that quickly. If it's the Ubuntu based system, how do we do the install in the packages or manage in the packages? Yeah, installing the software on the Debian based distributions, that is Ubuntu. So here, Red Hat based, we say that M, but in the Debian based systems, yes, Debian or Ubuntu or Linux Mint, they're all the flavors of the system. We use it apt. M is hello dog manager update, update manager, that is M. But here in the Debian based distributions, what is the utility or a tool we use it to install the package or to update the package? That is apt. Yeah, if you'd like to search a particular package on the Debian based systems, how do you search it? On the Linux based systems, M search package name, and on the Debian based systems, apt-cache. From the cache, it is managing that search and package name. Search for the package. And how do we install a package on the Debian based systems using apt? So what is the option we have is apt-get install and a package name. apt-get install, apt-get update, or apt-get remove. The same, m remove, m install, m search, but here apt. Remove the package or leave in the configuration. And how do we cleaning up the complete package files is apt-get purge. Yeah, remove the package and delete in the configuration. And how do we the information of the packages in the Debian based apt cache set time and information getting time, you need to use the apt cache. But installation, removing or updating, you can use it apt-get. Get. But here cache. Whenever you are seeing that information or searching the packages, apt-cache use of that. And how do we have that RPM utility? That is RPM-QA, QEL, QEF, or IV to install the package. How we are using on the Debian based system, DPKG, Debian based package manager. So to view the list of all the installed packages, dpkg-l. And if you see this, the path is belong, the file is belong to that which package is dpkg-s, path to the file. List of files package, yes, that's file related package. And the RPM based, RPM-QEF and path of the file, but here dpkg-s, S for search, this file is belong to that which package. Objectives are the same, but distributions wise the commands are the different. Yeah, how do we list this all the package related files? Is dpkg-l, there ql we are using, and here -l and package name. And how do we install that? RPM files, that is rpm-ivh we are using. But how do we install the Debian based files is which are have the extension .deb, dpkg-i package.deb. You just know that is Ubuntu based also. Yeah, finally summary package managers for RPM main two utilities M and RPM, and Debian based systems apt and dpkg, Debian based package manager. Yeah, so that's about understanding the package manager. And tomorrow we go ahead that understanding some service management also by taking that one web server we will configure it, that is a HTTP server, and we will work with the package manager and service manager. Is it clear today, the concepts?
Yes.
Yeah, if you are facing any issues, please ping this in the WhatsApp group and we will check it and we will respond. Yeah, so I'm going to sign up for today. So that's all from my side. So just try to practice on especially M and RPM, that is a CentOS based systems. Yeah, that try to install the Jenkins and try to practice with that. But Jenkins, for my case, it was taking some time. That's why already we have installed one time. But you can try that, the Jenkins also. Referring to the Jenkins download page, getting about the repo URL and the GPG key. That is explicit repository we have configured for the Jenkins. By default, the Jenkins is not available in the default repositories. Okay, good. So that's all from my side for today. So I'm going to log off and we'll meet tomorrow and we'll continue with the practice, that is with the managing that one web server. Then we'll get the package management and service management activities. If the time permits, then we'll move into that users management, another important activity. That is also we should know. Yes, important. They're all important for the DevOps India. If you are good with this, then tomorrow whenever we are talking about the Ansible automations, shell script automations, we will be good. Okay, thanks to all. I'm going to log off for today. We'll meet tomorrow.